Hey, I'm James Bay and I'm here today in Newcastle talking with Daria. This is my 1966 Epiphone Century. This is kind of my main instrument. I have a lot of guitars and I do a lot of guitar changes on the show. But this is, as it's always been, tuned down to D standard instead of E standard. These are 13s. Because I'll do what looks like quite sort of delicate stuff for Let It Go, for Hold Back the River. But I do it with real intention and some power. When I'm tuned down a whole step, I need everything to not get too sort of flappy and wobbly. So on this guitar it's 13s. I have 11s on a couple of guitars, and I have some 13s on acoustics, and I have a Century copy of this that's dropped down to C sharp standard, that are potentially 14s. I've got 14s on that one, because it's down so low. It's all good fun to sort of hit those registers as well. So yeah, 13s and 14s is kind of where I exist with strings, and some 11s, some 12s I think as well. What kind of impact did the co-writing on Changes All the Time have, and what was it like incorporating my guitar playing? Hopefully the guitar playing part comes very natural. I guess if it's my style, it's just what I do naturally. So I ideally don't have to think too much about that. I will think about how I play and what I play when I'm recording an album and thinking about playing it live. I think the people I wrote with on Changes All the Time hopefully only impacted in a good way. They really inspired me, you know, I wrote with Holly Humberstone on this song, Dogfight. I'm a big fan of hers. I wrote with Brandon Flowers from The Killers on Easy Distraction. I'm such a huge fan of these artists. I got to sing one song with the Lumineers and Noah Kahan, and these are people that, like, I'm trying to meet the heights of their sort of abilities with my own. I like that challenge. I like to try and rise to that challenge. And hopefully in doing that, the music is better for it. Some of my favourite players are great writers too. Eric Clapton, a great writer as well as a great guitar player. And then from a sort of more acoustic guitar-led singer-songwriter perspective, I'm thinking right now, just in this moment, about Bill Withers, who, you know, he beautifully understated and simple. He'd have something like Grandma's Hands. Which I would always hear as a real guitar part, and he's got a song called Hope You'll Be Happier. Really simple. I think I saw a couple of clips and listened to him, that great record live at Carnegie Hall, playing this particular sort of shape, and that's the second chord in that song, and he just slid it up and came back down, and then there's a B section, this very sort of steady little sort of G minor shape thing. So I'm trying to sort of soak up the songwriting and the singing abilities of all my favourite artists, but importantly, the playing abilities. Jeff Buckley, and I'm always thinking about how I think he's kind of an understated guitar player. He's an unbelievable player. Bruce Springsteen, unbelievable player. These guys are renowned for giant songs, giant careers, giant presence as artists. They're great players too, you know. Yeah, I'm always trying to sort of combine all those different things: writer, singer, performer, guitar player, because I started my entire journey in music as a guitar-obsessed 11-year-old in his bedroom just trying to play Layla. I go on stage, or really any time that I perform in front of anybody, or just pick up and play an instrument, there was a lot of adrenaline running through me, a lot of emotions. They're very closely connected, the act of writing and performing and the act of playing, and the act of feeling all the things that go into those things. To put it simply, I need heavy strings, I need pretty big frets. I quite like hollow body guitars if they're electric. Obviously with acoustics, I like the jumbo body guitars because there's more noise. I need to put the energy that is sort of coursing through my veins when I'm being musical, I need to put it into a pretty robust instrument. I play solid body electrics. You know, I've got an SG and I've got a Telecaster that are kind of unbreakable, and I really grip them. I remember Jack White said that he needs to put his adrenaline somewhere, so he chooses to put his mic in the middle of the stage, his pedals over there, and his amp settings on his amp in another direction, because he needs to sort of tear about and put his energy somewhere, and I can totally relate. And he uses big heavy strings for the same reason. We can all see that Stevie Ray Vaughan was a powerful player, using like 12s or even like 13s or whatever at times, so that the bends kind of sound right. Yeah, I'm always looking to have that kind of connection with the guitar. I'm also just obsessed. I don't, there's no other way I can say it. I just don't go for anything particularly sort of delicate. I like a light instrument, but I like it to be sturdy. Sometimes I like it to be a bit sort of road beaten, a bit of a war horse, because I'm not going to be gentle with it. So I'm not like the Muhammad Ali of like right hands in guitar playing or strumming hands in guitar playing, but the Dario have always been able to take what I'm sort of giving to the strings. I will, not intentionally, but I will knock guitars out of tune from how hard I hit them. I don't use the heaviest picks in the world, but they're not bendy, they're not particularly light either. I need D'Addario sort of at a foundation level to be sturdy. They're certainly that. I don't snap strings very often, despite how hard I hit them, and if I do, I snap strings with, I guess, my right hand and my pick. It's not so much a bend that will sort of ping it out of the sort of socket down here. I come away with bloody knuckles. When I go on tour, I lose half of my nail on this finger every tour, because I like to go at it, and I love it. It's interesting as well, there'll be an association with my music that I'm quite happy with, which is that it's gentle, that it's ballads, that it's chill, I don't know. But come and see the live show, it's a different experience. It includes all of those things, but we sort of smack the strings and have a great time, and D'Addario can take it. As a songwriter, it's easy and enjoyable to write songs just as sort of classic chords, C, F, A minor, G. I will say I need heavier strings for that, because as a singer, I sing better in lower keys. As a guitar player, I like the fact that even though this looks like a C, I'm always tuned down a whole step, so I need pretty heavy strings so that I can sing in what is actually B flat. As a guitar player, I also try and sort of incorporate open strings into my playing and my songwriting. A lot of my better known songs, like Old Back the River, has this open string, that's the G string. There's just like a wider resonance to that as a part. Same with Let It Go. Open string, and then a wide range of sounds, bass notes, sort of thirds and fifths. Just trying to sort of spread the sound, and always since I was just like a kid playing open mics and busking, I was trying to be a guitar player and a writer who could make as big a sound as possible on my own. What comes first in the process? Is it lyrics? Is it guitar playing? Is it melodies? It's never really lyrics. I will spend my time like jotting lyrics down and in my phone all the time, and I might sort of go back to them, but typically actually I'll probably play something and I will sit and sort of noodle and play guitar, mess around, and just find melodies, ideally that can be sort of sung and played. Those are usually the sort of better, bigger, hookier melodies. And then I'll usually start singing something over the top of that. There's like a song on the new record called Some People. And that's the guitar part. And it was very easy when we were writing that to say, well, that's the verse melody. Anything you want, I'll give it to you. It's nice to sort of do it all at the same time and it'd be a very sort of fluid songwriter, singer, guitar player experience. How much do other genres impact my songwriting and my guitar playing? I mean, completely, they completely impact it. I think, I remember, I can't remember who said this, but I always like this sort of idea that we make every attempt to be a perfect replica of our heroes. Of course, that's impossible, and that's okay. And in failing to do that, we wind up as our unique selves, as artists. I've listened to interviews of John Mayer talking about being obsessed with Stevie Ray Vaughan as a kid and wanting to just learn how to play like him. And we can tell that in his playing, that he liked that style of playing. But of course, he's never going to be Stevie Ray Vaughan, and what we've wound up with is the brilliant John Mayer. So that's how I think it affects my writing and playing. It inspires me to emulate, and all I can do is emulate, shy of being exactly like the artists I love. I come out as me. The advice that I've got for young guitar players and people who want to be on stage every night, traveling, playing guitar, it's the same stuff that we hear in movies, and it's put in movies because it's so universally true. You have to believe that you want to and are going to do it more than anybody else. Whoever you sort of pick up along the way who has any kind of belief in you too, that's good, that's important, but at every stage you have to believe more than everybody. You have to want it. It's beautifully simple. At least I've seen it as that, and it doesn't guarantee anything, and that's really tough, but maybe if you want it enough, you'll find your way there.